Hey guys, it's me Sujoy over here. Welcome back to another video. On this video, I'm going to be talking about always have a backup plan while living in Southeast Asia. So, um, if you're new to my channel, the name of my channel is called Sujoy in Vietnam. I've been living out here for over 6 years. I was an English teacher before here in Vietnam for 3.5 years, and then I started my online business. I'm also a full-time YouTuber, so if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. So um, what do I mean by having a backup plan? And why is it important to have it when you're living in Southeast Asia? So when I'm talking about Southeast Asia, I'm talking about like Vietnam, I'm talking about Thailand, I'm talking about Philippines. So primarily these countries I'm going to be talking about and why it's important to have a backup plan. Okay, what do I mean by this? So say you have come to Southeast Asia. Let's say for example, let's take Thailand for an example. You've come to Thailand and you're a foreigner and you've come from the West, you've come from Europe, or you've come from any other part of the world. So everything is kind of so different for you, the environment, culturally, and it's kind of very tempting. Uh, like you feel like okay, you're somewhere right now in paradise, and like the temptation, the women, especially the women in Southeast Asia, like namely in Thailand, Vietnam, they're very attractive in general. So you may feel like, okay, um, I want to fall into a relationship, and I want to get committed. But sometimes there are situations where I've seen like foreigners, especially Westerners, they get into this love romance scam, or maybe they're just not happy in the relationship because the girl he's dating is actually using her is actually she's actually using him financially, just like an ATM machine, drying up all his savings. Let me just have a bit of my coffee. Yeah, just a quick input over here. I know that many of you are actually watching my videos, but you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel. So do me a favor, just hit the subscribe button so that you can support my work and I can come up with more useful content. Okay. So yeah, so like about the maybe you're coming to Southeast Asia, you have a budget, or you have your savings, but it's not very uncommon for me to see, like I've seen with my own eyes, that like a couple of foreigners, they're being stranded in Southeast Asia, especially in Thailand, where they're just on the streets and they're selling some items so that they can buy a plane ticket to fly back home. I mean, that's the sad reality. And just to be honest with you over here is, as a foreigner, if you're living around in Southeast Asia, nobody's going to come and help you. This is not like in a Western society, or in a European society, or even like I'm from India, so it's like the caring and all that stuff. Here it's going to be very, if you're on the streets, and if you have been duped, maybe by your girlfriend, or something like that, it's going to be, you're completely on your own. People don't care, because the whole industry out here in Southeast Asia is catered for foreigners, especially if you have money. Like it's like the whole industry. I'm talking about Thailand, Vietnam, even Cambodia, even Philippines, because I was there for 5 years in the Philippines before. But the whole continent is actually around the concept that foreigners will bring in income to the economy, especially in the form of tourism, and that foreigners are supposed to shell out money, and have a good time. Maybe buy some rent some apartments. Or there are a lot of or maybe fall into a relationship with a local Southeast Asian woman. Have a serious relationship, maybe get married, have a couple of kids. But maintaining all that is also a different ball game altogether. Um, so it's just that I've listed down a couple of the points over here, like oh, it's out here. Yeah. So like maybe you should always keep some reserve money with you, which I think you should not even discuss with anyone else. Like you should. It's very important. Like when you're in Southeast Asia, um, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm not scripting anything. I'm just speaking my mind from my experience because I've been living in Southeast Asia for over 10 years. So I'm just speaking my mind out, so that this video could be insightful for most of you expats coming to Southeast Asia. Is that you should always stay connected with your family. That is very important because your family members are very important. I don't think it would be a good decision, if you don't tell your family members where you are, especially when you're coming to Southeast Asia. Like I've been living out here in Vietnam for so many years, but I'm still I'm still connected to my dad. Like I know my father lives in the States, but I make it a point that once a week I call up my father, and I let him know how I am. And he also checks up on me. So it's I think family is very important. Always stay connected. Say in case of some emergency. If things are not working out where you are in Southeast Asia, or maybe you're in a tough spot, or maybe you're not liking the environment, or you're seeing that your partner, she is kind of using you financially only, and she's bringing you down in that rabbit hole, and you want to find a way to get out of it, get out of the misery, because that your savings are drying up quickly, and they're and especially in Southeast Asia, it's like many people are pretty much connected. So like if you don't know the language out there, you could be taken advantage of, and that is the sad reality. I mean, knowing basic language is important, but from my experience, if you don't know the local language, like if you don't know Thai, or if you don't know Vietnamese language, or maybe like if you don't know Cambodian or Filipino language, you know like I said in one of my previous videos, that if you're dating a local woman out here in Southeast Asia, you would always be treated different. You would be treated as a foreigner, especially here in Vietnam. It's very high that if you are dating a Vietnamese girl, or if you're in a relationship, or even if you're married a Vietnamese woman, you would always be treated differently as a foreigner. So what your partner is having communications with her family members or with other Vietnamese people is very different. So yeah, I mean, secrets could be out immediately. So always keep a little bit of barrier. Don't share everything. I wouldn't recommend you sharing your bank account details with your partner, unless and until you have been married for a couple of years and you have some kids. Or just don't give away your international debit card or credit card to your girlfriend, and you tell her that, okay, this is the pin, go to the ATM and take out money, because she may sound to be very sweet and everything, but you never know, when things could turn south, or she could do something, which you may not like, or maybe she has a family member, who has some financial problems or something, and she could take out some extra money from your bank account, but she won't let you know about it. It's happened. I've heard these kind of stories. So also, let's look at the visa situation. I mean, like, of course, Vietnam is right now opening up with it's currently with the 90-day e-visa, but like Before it was just a 1 month visa, right? And going and making those border runs, to Cambodia was not a very attractive option for many foreigners. So something, which, having a backup plan, in a sense that, maybe, just, the beauty about Southeast Asia is that maybe, if you're not happy with this, if with the country, like, maybe, say for example, if you're not happy in Vietnam, you can go to Thailand. You can stay there for a couple of months. They do offer the 3 months tourist visa, and also they have different visa options. So maybe you can go there, but and then, you can again come back to Vietnam and try to check it out one more time if it's working out for you. Definitely, I don't like, I don't like to hear foreigners saying that I'm never going to come back to this country. I'm never going to do that. I think that's a wrong way to go about it. Maybe, you just had the bad moments, and maybe, you just didn't get the right, maybe maybe, you were not in the right moment. But that, that doesn't mean that you should block that country in Southeast Asia. I mean, you can always come back later. You can go somewhere in Southeast Asia, recharge your batteries, experience a new environment. Of course, these, like these Southeast Asian countries, they're like like jewels. So yeah, I mean, you can always come back, or maybe, say for example, you're in an environment. I told you about the relationship. Maybe you're not happy in a relationship, and maybe you're seeing that, she's just using you up financially, and, she's just taking advantage of your, maybe, of your pension money, or, like, if you, those kind of things. But, it's always, there are certain things which you should definitely keep it to yourself. So maybe, it would be wise to keep some kind of a backup, kind of a reserve money, which you should not discuss that with your partner at all, and, just keep it very quiet, because you never know if you're in a bad spot. You should be ready to pack your bags and leave the following day, and, exit. Or maybe, like, if you are in a bad environment, or if you're seeing that, or even, if you're employed out here, or if you're an English teacher out here in Southeast Asia, but you're feeling that, this country is not working out for me, and, they're making me do overtime teaching, and the pay is less, and, I just, they're just keeping me like a hostage, or, maybe, like, I'm in Hanoi right now, and, I'm being scam, there's some kind of a teaching scam going around or something. um you should always have that option of exiting that situation, and, just getting the f off, just getting the f off from that situation, and, completely relocating somewhere else. That so that's the reason why it's very important to keep some backup money with you, which you should not discuss with anyone else. And, it's like, from my personal experience, it's very common out here in Southeast Asia, where, women out here, don't get me wrong, Southeast Asian women, they're very nice, they're very caring, especially Vietnamese women. But the tendency is that there are women, if you're in a relationship, they may ask, like, how much money you have in your account right now. It's happened to me. How much money you have in your account right now, or, she could cook up with some stories that, someone's sick in my family, or, my friend is asking for money, and all those kind of things. Or, especially in the Philippines, that happens quite a lot. Especially if you're in a long distance relationship, there are Filipino girls, they can take you for a ride, they can cook up a lot of stories. So, like, it's happened to me. I was in this scam before. I remember when I was in Australia doing my masters, and, I had this we had this ICQ chat back then, and, I would be chatting with these Filipino women, and I fell in a serious relationship with one Philippine girl. And, I would be sending her money every week, around like 300 or 300 or 400 Australian dollars to her via Western Union. And she would cook up story, my computer is not working, or my mother is sick, she needs some money or something. But it happens in this kind of a situation, especially in Southeast Asia. Women, they can play with your emotions. I mean, they can fuck with your emotions. And fortunately, here in Vietnam, you won't find that. Uh but if you're in Thailand, and if you're in Philippines, there you might be experiencing this kind of emotional drama. Like, waking up in the morning and hearing that like your girlfriend or your partner is having some issues or whatever. So yeah, so always have a backup plan to exit a specific country in Southeast Asia, and then go on somewhere else. Don't give out everything. Don't give out all your personal information to someone, because especially in Southeast Asia, it's very close knitted. And especially if you're living in a neighborhood out here in Southeast Asia, news travels very fast. And like I said, usually the women you date, or if you're married to a Southeast Asian woman, they tend to be a bit gossipy with the other neighbors. And news travels fast. I mean, she could be telling something to her mother could say something, the same information, to someone else. So it's like a wildfire. I mean, it's like, so it's kind of a bit difficult keeping confidential information out here in Southeast Asia. This is from my personal experience. So always, always keep that, always keep certain information to yourself, and make it a point that I don't want to share this with anyone else, even the person I'm dating out here in Southeast Asia. Because I mean, till the time I have developed that level of trust with her, that yes, she is 100% trusted, and spent a couple of years with that person, then that's a different story altogether. Because the last thing you want is being in a situation where you're feeling the sense of being stuck in a stagnant environment where the people around you are treating you very poorly. You're not being valued. There's no opportunity to grow. You feel like, I can't get out. So of course, you should definitely be connected with the family members. And but there are also situations where sometimes your family members can say to you that, I'm sorry, son, I can't help you right now. My hands are tied up. I don't have money to buy your airfare ticket for you to come home, or something like that. So that's the reason why, keep the reserve money, at least keep some airfare money reserved for yourself. Or keep a couple of you keep a 1 grand or 2 grands, like, just keep it reserved, for yourself, and just keep it in your savings account or whatever it is. But don't let anyone know about this. I mean, that is like your exigency money, in case you need to exit the country, or in case things are turning south, or you're in some kind of a legal situation in that country. So yeah, that's the reason why it's very important to have that backup plan. So yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you found this video to be insightful, and share your thoughts or experiences down in the comment section below. Yeah, and if you found this video to be insightful, make sure to, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Additionally, if you found this video to be insightful, you can always buy me a coffee. So the link is down in the description. And if you're traveling around in Southeast Asia and you want to start a successful online business, and you want to live a stress-free life where you don't have to worry about your pennies, or you don't have to look at your wallet every day knowing how much money you got to survive for that day or for the week, I highly recommend you check out my income stream site. The link is down in the description below. So with that being said, stay safe in Southeast Asia. Have a wonderful time. I really love all these countries. This is from my personal experience of living out here in Southeast Asia for 10 years. Enjoy your time, but at the same time, always have a backup plan. Okay, so with that being said, you guys have a great day. This was me, Sue Joy. Peace out.